that time. He establishes his fortress citadel at a place that we call today the City of David. It's the area that I showed you just south of the Temple Mount from the Mount of Olives. Where we're standing now is roughly giving us where we were standing then, I should say, is similar to where we're standing now. It's the same vantage point. So the City of David is this collection of small buildings just slightly to the south of the Temple Mount, and they're depicting a palace complex or something a little bit further to the south there. David dies, and Solomon succeeds him and builds the first temple. So the Solomonic Temple is located a little bit further up the hill at the highest point of the mountain, roughly where they're depicting it today, although, like I said, the exact location of the Holy of Holies is not known. What we do know is this platform area that we'll be walking around on tomorrow called the Temple Mount, or now the Haram Sharif. That, by the way, is the largest human-made artificial platform, I guess you could say, in the world. It's 35 acres altogether. And what they're depicting right smack dab in the middle of the Temple Mount platform here is the Holy of Holies. And this is based, the sources for this model are two, basically. One is archaeological excavations that they've done, and the second, and probably maybe more important, are the descriptions of Josephus. And you might recall, when was it we were talking about the numbers? Oh, we were talking about the numbers in the Bible on the way through the desert. When it comes to Josephus, Josephus is generally regarded to, typical of writers of his day, to be someone who exaggerates numbers, but his description of archaeological things that are now archaeological sites are usually very accurate. So he does a very good job of giving details of structures that were built and so on. And the archaeological evidence that we do have for the way in which the city of Jerusalem looked at the time of Jesus supports what Josephus tells us about it. He tells us that Herod the Great starts building the city about 20 BC. He comes to power in 37 BC. He starts rebuilding the city of Jerusalem in 20 BC. About the same time that he starts building his own artificial port on the coastal plain at a place that's now called Caesarea Maritima. That becomes a very important location because it provides his kingdom with capital, money from trade. It becomes the second biggest port in the entire Mediterranean, so it's a source of economic strength. It also is a place where he's going to transfer the seat of government from Jerusalem to Caesarea Maritima. So his capital is not Jerusalem, it's Caesarea Maritima. This has the effect of undermining the authority of the temple cult, the Sadducees, the priestly caste. And in order to accomplish that, he adroitly begins to restore the temple complex in the whole city of Jerusalem. So he's undermining their secular authority and reinforcing their sort of religious authority, or cultic authority, I think you could say. It's a way of throwing them a bone to mollify them a little bit while he's in the process of undermining their political authority and consolidating his own. So it's a sort of a crafty maneuver that he does. And as you can see from the depiction here, the style of the city is entirely Greek. So when somebody, I forget who said this morning about Karen mentioned it looks Greek, it's all being done in a Greek style. There's no building anywhere that's not being done in a Greek style at this time period, for that matter. So what we see here is a huge Temple Mount complex. This is analogous to the Temenos area, or sacred precinct associated with any temple. To the south, well, there are stoa, porticos all around the outside, but there's a large south stoa which is multi-stories. There's only one other multi-story stoa that I know in the entire Mediterranean, and that's in the Agora at Athens. The Agora at Athens, the Athenian Agora at the foot of the Acropolis. So we're there. Josephus is describing a multi-story stoa, and a stoa is just usually a commercial building. It's a place to give people. It provides a place for people to engage in different sorts of business activities usually, and the speculation is that when Jesus comes into the temple and overturns the tables of the money changers, that activity would be happening at this southern Stoa area there, which is where the Al-Aqsa Mosque is located today.
See pictures of it, it looks sort of like that.
See pictures of it?
Well, I mean, like,